Hello everyone, and today I will have all the changes with which came with the Horn of the Abyss expansion. And if you don't know what HotA is, then it also will give you some kind of view at this expansion. If you already played HotA, I'm 100% sure you didn't know about all the changes in the game, and let's just quickly go and see. Let's start because there's a lot of text and a lot of changes, which you may think are interesting or not. We'll see. Of course, if there is something less important, I will skip this part, and I will give you the link to the link in the description if you want to read this by yourself. And this is the version 1.4.2, I believe, but there will be even update to 1.5 where we'll have a tools to generate our own templates. So like will not have to choose from one of those many, like Jibus Cross, Me Nostalgia, and we can even create our templates. What more? I think some graphics. I think that maybe even heroes will have, on the map and in the fight, the man and woman hero will have different outfit. So there will be some difference. Don't know. There was some more, and I will probably give you the link in the description to their fan page, where you can read more about the incoming update 1.5. No one knows when the update will be, and for now we have this version, and let's start this. As you can see, there are many things. Of course, most of this I will just skip, and I will just focus on the most important changes. And also, if there is something worth, I will give you my own point. I will share with you my own what the fuck, my own point of view. How do I see this? Okay, so let's start. List of added features in HotA. Horn of the Abyss is a global add-on. Okay, of course, is the free. Is this maybe this? Maybe I should just read this. It's for free. This expansion, of course, as a global add-on for Heroes of Might and Magic 3 that extends and fixes, if needed, classical gameplay elements and adds some of its own. This list contains undisabled additions. Never mind. I think it's just because it's kinda morning for me, and maybe I should record this later on, but I don't have time, so you have to survive this. I mean, in 5 minutes or so it will be a lot better. Let me drink some and let's go. Considering gameplay. Extended list of with added things in the next post of the topic. A new type of faction and town with all the necessary elements. Okay, so this is Cove. You can see there what happened. So, rule of ability for player on if all towns or all towns except Cove are available, Cove is also available. Otherwise, Cove is unavailable. On HotA maps, Cove ability for player can be set in map properties. Cove is available by default. Okay. Native terrain is swamp. Without penalty, 1 attack, 1 defense, 1 speed. Ignore the mine. What? See and ignore the mines and see the quicksand, but the siege of Cove still occurs in swamp. Okay. Okay, sure. Units. Yeah. You probably know a lot about units, and there you can of course see a lot more. And about the details such as hash speeds and their damage, we'll have some informations later on anyway. So let's skip this part. Nev Battle Machine Canon will have also some information later about him. Heroes, yes, also the captains and navigators, and this is Cove heroes in general, I think. Okay, yes, sure. Yeah, okay, I see. And the structures, so basically all the buildings available in the city, is there anything worth? Level 4 only, Mage Guild, no 5. But you know it. Roost Thieves Grotto. Yes, it's like Altar of Sacrifice, but it requires a lot of resources and money, so... this is the creatures, so their cost and what we need to build this, sure. Okay, I think this is the Grail, yeah. Is built for free, imposes the Grail. Grail disappears after construction, yeah. Brings money as always, multiplies the growth of creatures, like always. Makes any terrain native to Cove. Movement without penalty. +1 to attack, defense speed. See and ignore mines and seek weak sand. Cove siege remains on swamp. So basically the Grail is not as strong as for Tower, I guess, because with Tower we can see all the map. With Conflux it's pretty good because we have all spells. With Castle even, because we have +2 morale to each unit in each hero, in each battle. So that's pretty good. Although, okay, not this. Okay, although this grade is not so bad because we can move without penalty on every kind of like snow, sand, no problem. We'll have a bit more of speed and attack defense. Yeah, not super good, but just a grail. Okay. Chance of rolling a spell in each slot in the mage guild. I think we could see this everything this later on, so I will do it later because in the next part of this there's more details about Cove, so sure we'll do it later. Okay, sure. So we are there. General gameplay innovations. Towns and fort always have level 2 dwelling built by default. And this is such a big change because we'll always start with like dwarves, archers, gogs, zombies. I mean, there's less randomness in the games, and you know exactly which path you can use to build up your city. And you know you will always start with level 2. So if you are Necropolis, I think you need zombies anyway to have vampires and all the rest, so that's good. Same for Inferno with Gogs. And sometimes you will get this level 2 dwelling, sometimes you won't. So I think it's good that now is less random and you know what you can expect. Of course, it's making the game a bit easier, and of course you don't need the resources. Of course, you will have less units if you have to, like in Shadow of Ditch, buy this, and you will have everything one day later. But in the end, I think that brings more balance. And in the early game, you just know what you can expect and you know how strong you will be. It doesn't depend on the randomness, so I think it's better. Heroes with starting army always have all troops and war machine without the possibility of absence of any of them. So in the Shadow of Ditch, we could even start with only one stack, and then we had some chance to have second stack, and some chance, if we have second stack, to have third stack. I don't remember the percents, but it was, I think, around 25% to have all the army, basically. So that brings also some help for us, because we'll always start with more units. That's good also for Inferno, because we can farm demons out of this, but for every city it's better because we have just more units. And even from the other cities, we can just use them as mid shield. So I think it's good because one more time, it removes the random faction in this part of the game. So, later, we should be talking about Fly, Waterwalk and Dimension Door spell, changes which make it impossible to trigger objects without alerting the guard even while using the spells, if take into account fix of object guard tilting back. Okay, so I don't know if you know, but in the Shadow of Ditch you could, like with angel wings, maybe not, but probably yes. But if not with angel wings, then with fly. You could just steal everything and don't even fight the guard. Like if there is a Dragon Utopia, you can just click where is the entry to the structure, go fight dragons and run away without fighting the guard. Of course, Dragon Utopia is not the best example because you will be enough strong to fight the guard, but you can like steal every Pandora box, like everything without fighting guard once you get one of those spells. So, of course, in multiplayer, if you are if you have some kind of honor, you know, you won't use this bug. But one more time, it's a bug. It's good that they repaired this, and just awesome. To trigger a guarded object while flying or water walking, if the object is considered freely safe or like a friendly guardian, you will not have to first land on it. Yes, and hero moves on guarded tunnel after casting. Combat will start, yes, so even with Dimension Door, if we'll stay too close to the creature, we will fight, not like we'll stay together, which is kinda weird. And that makes some more problems in the Harden of the Abyss, because sometimes you are going blindly with Dimension Door, and sometimes you don't know what you can expect in the dark part of map, and sometimes you're fighting something even without seeing how big and what it is. So one more time, this is now harder because we can just like, you know, suicide because we don't know what's there. And fixed bug with interruption the flight on forbidden cells. Interrupting the flight above the guarded tile will not trigger combat. Okay, so I think when you were moving, you could you could use right click to just stop your moving, and then you could just stay somewhere like to the cart or in the city. I mean, there was some bugs like that. A native terrain bonus under underground depends on the particular terrain. Originally, it was always considered subterranean. So this is interesting. Even if in underground we had like lava terrain, grass terrain, anything, when you right click this, it was subterranean. What does it mean? That means that on all the underground dungeon units had the bonus 1 attack, 1 defense, 1 speed. Even if this was grass, any kind of other terrain, they had always the increased statistics. Good that they repaired this bug. Dwellings belonged to players accumulate creatures on a bi-week basis. That means we can just, flag something and run away and later come for all the creatures. To be honest, that makes game a lot easier because, for example, we don't have to buy them right now. So firstly, we don't have to spend our money right now. We don't have to carry the units with us, like with Scout. If we'll find some kind of dwellings, we can flag that and then go somewhere and return and bring all of them and then go. So that makes game easier. But I think it was in the Heroes 5 that the units accumulate, and it was a good because it just makes game, you don't have to care about all these small things and you can more focus on the more important. So I think that makes game easier, but once again, I think it doesn't change this that much. So okay, negate luck was introduced. While under effects of negative luck, the stack has a chance 112, 16, 14 to cause half damage. How Glass of the Evil Core neutralize luck only if this is positive. Okay, sure. The creatures in battle without a hero can now be subjected to the effect of good and bad luck. With no hero, I think in the Shadow of Ditch, if you even, because there are no artifacts to like give minus luck to your opponent, and even if you casted some kind of like Armor of the Damned with Misfortune, if you're fighting a unit without hero, I think this bad luck never happen. I'm not so sure because there are a lot of details, but now it works as it should work. So scouting skill is now buffed. No change, +1, +2. That makes scouting a lot stronger. Don't know even if this is not too strong. But this is their goal. They decided to change the scouting. I mean, they could change also somehow other secondary skills which were useless maybe somehow. Because scouting, like, sometimes it was good to have even this normal scouting, and now the buff scouting, like for some kind of scout heroes, so even the hero from Inferno, which starts, I think this is the specialty of dogs, and she starts with advanced scouting. You just need one learning stone and you have mass scouting, and normally hero will scout 5 cells, and with that scouting 10. So it's not like 2 times more, and it's like, I don't know, maybe 3 times more, because it's like in every direction, not only straight forward, but also left and down if you're moving right, for example. So that makes scouting even a too strong, but once again, comparing to elf magic, offense, armor, that just makes scouting useful, even for main hero. Slightly increase the area value for monk. Yes, because sometimes even stupid gold mine was protected by monks. What the fuck? From Pandora boxes and Sears had we had 30, now we'll have 25 of them. Okay, good. Fire immunity of fire burst replaced with 50% fire resist does slightly decrease their AA value from boxes will now give fine. Okay, so now we'll have a bit more of firebirds, and we'll have to fight for some more of firebirds because their value is lower, and they don't have the fire immunity anymore. They were too strong, so I'm fine with this because just because of their speed. Too powerful unit, I would say. Increase the AI of Fairy Dragon. So now there will be less of them, yes, around 1.5. Okay, so that means we'll have to fight less Fairy Dragons, and I think that's okay because even one Fairy Dragon can cost you a lot of problems, so if there's less of them, sure. Water elementals were excluded from random maps without water. What does it mean? Elements, not elementals. Okay, so on random maps without water, so like Gibus Cross, will not have all the things from like the stupid artifact, sea captains, necklace, boots of levitation. We will not have summon boat, scuttle boat, water walk, and we don't have navigation. Does it work every time? I'm not so sure. Are not coherent in the sites and are prohibited in the map settings. Completely removed from the game. Okay. On random maps without water available, including starting ones, heroes Beatrice, King Carrie, and Derek, but on the following heroes are not available: Sylvia, Vor, Elmore. Okay, sure. So we have Beatrice, scouting, King Carrie as slow, Derek. Okay, never mind. He is the specialist of niggas, so come on. Who needs him? Sylvia, Voy, and Elmore are available on maps with water. Okay, sure. On random maps, water. Gem, the hero Gem from Rampart, will have spell Bless, not Summon Boat as normal. But if there will be normal map with water, she comes with Summon Boat. So that's useful because who needs Summon Boat when there's no water? When you click on random water level in the random, okay, we'll say yes, sure. Creature weeks, creature mounts, and plug you are disabled for random maps. Oh, nice. I mean, creature week. Okay, so we'll not have any more those stupid +5 devils week, because imagine this, maybe not devils, but something like Behemoth. So you can probably have Behemoth on first week, and then next week comes and it's the week of Behemoth +5. Okay, enjoy the game. 5 Behemoths for free, balanced. No plug you or no, but only for random maps, of course, you have to notice. So basically for all the multiplayer games, that's good. Arrow Towers ignores the target defense completely. Also fixed various bugs with concurrent damage calculation. Okay, so this works good, I would say. And this do a lot more of damage, I can tell you that, than it were doing earlier. Shackles of War effect applies only when both sides in the battle have heroes. That's important because I saw like 2-3 games when one of the good players, really good, like maybe Haveview League, from the Haveview League, wanted to do Poor Man's Town Portal, but they had Shackles of War on, and they couldn't retreat like versus troglodytes, and their main hero died. So come on, who needs this? Okay, so just removes the stupid part, stupid option for you to lose the game, because I don't know what was the final result of the games, but come on, you can just be kinda unhappy when your main hero dies with all the artifacts, the troglodytes, just because you cannot retreat because you have artifact which you wanted to have to help you, not to. Okay, sure. So that's good. Few neutral creatures. Okay, we have Satyrs, level 4, some attack, defense, and cast mirror. There we have AI and fight value, amount of map, population. So this is like demons, probably the same health, similar. I think they have more damage. Demons have lower, 7-8. I don't remember demons. 6-8. So they have a bit more of damage, speed, a bit quicker. They cost a bit more. Yes, sure. So close to demons. And there we have this Fangarms, level 5 creature, and the Hypnotize. Maybe you want to know this, so I can read this. Cast Advanced Hypnotize for 3 rounds on attack stack. Spell power is equal to number of creatures in Fangarm's squad while tracking possibility of applying Hypnotize. That means if affects a squad with total health, counting damage of current attack not greater than... Okay. In case of successful cast of Hypnotize, attack stack won't retaliate and won't attack twice in Fangarms are counter-attacking. So even if you are attacking Fangarm and he can survive and he will retaliate to you and you have enough health for them to hypnotize you. I mean, they can hypnotize you even when they are retaliating. How much this is Fangarm count? So we are fighting probably, let's say, 5 times 20. Okay, let's say that in one stack there are 20 Fangarms. What does it mean? 20 of them. It's 500, 520, so they can like hypnotize 2.5 angel. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, let's go later. I mean later. Let's go further because there are a lot more of things. Maybe I will just do 2 episodes if this will be too long. We'll see. Gameplay innovations related to the certain towns. So what is changed in every faction? In the castle, Sir Muris is banned by default. Lord Heart available instead. Sylvia is banned on maps without water, and we have Beatrice. And this is how Beatrice looks like. So Sir Muris is a retarded OP shit hero. This +2 speed is just what the fuck, man. It's too strong, and it's a good change, I would say. Rampart. Did you know that the amount of elves heroes started were from 3 to 6? Elves. The wood elves, which you could upgrade in a second to the grand elves. And even now, after this nerf, you watched the game when I were playing Rampart, and you see the damage, even when we have the reduced amount of them. We got like 2, and some from city and some from dwellings, but come on, this is a good change because, come on. And gem will have less, not some. Okay, so just you have less shooters. So Rampart is a bit. Rampart was very strong because of the shooters and centaurs early on, so that's a good change. Tower, that's super good because that makes tower useful. So building tree. So the problem was always that we couldn't do even genies or nagas because we needed the Mage Tower, and Mage Tower requires 5 of each resource like sulfur, mercury, everything 5. How can you get that much? It's not easy. Even on Gibus Cross it can cause you some problems. Maybe not on Gibus Cross, but that just makes this city very expensive and hard to get any reinforcements early on. So that's very good. And looks like we don't even need Mage Guild to build all of this genies and upgraded things. I mean, upgraded genies I think requires Mage Guild. But all the rest we can do it without Mage Guild. So it's awesome because the tower needed something like that. Golden Pavilion and upgraded now require a lot of wishes. Sorry. So we just need, yes, we have to have genies first, then we can have some nagas. And upgraded needs Mage Guild. Okay, sure, that makes a lot more of sense in the city than it was previous. Building prices, so this is reduced for the golems, reduced, the upgraded for golems will never happen probably, so this doesn't matter. Mage Tower, 500 gold. 500 gold, and 5k for the upgrade. So everything is decreased because Commandus was so expensive city. Even though if this upgrade to golems and maybe Mage Tower you are not doing very often, then the Altar of Wishes is nice, and the upgrade to Titans, which can sometimes happen, it just costs less. Super. Amount of Stone Gargoyles increased because it was lower than for Wood Elves. Wood Elves are like 3 to 6, level 3 unit, and this is level 2 unit, and we have less of them. So they increased the amount of them. It doesn't make of them any kind of power stack, but once again you will have more scouts, you can take out more retaliations, and just for those. Stone Golems increased. Yes, sure, that makes sense, because Tower was had a lot of problems early on, because you don't have like any kind of buildings, because all of this requires a stupid amount of resources, and your units are like very bad because you have a low amount of them. So super. That makes Tower a lot better. Now it's not a shame playing Tower. Inferno. The upgraded Pit Lords doesn't require level 2 Mage Guild. I'm not so sure if this change is good. I mean, of course it makes Inferno stronger, but I don't know if this is not too strong. Because this can... Like, Inferno needed some help also, because the units of Inferno are kinda weak, and that's why we have the demons farming. And now we can do it a lot easier and faster. I think that makes sense, but not so sure if this doesn't make Inferno one of the top cities, but I think it doesn't, so sure. And also one less sulfur for this object, one less... That all of that doesn't matter, because we'll never upgrade to Magux, we'll never upgrade to Cerberus, and we'll never do this object, so this doesn't matter. Creatures, Maggots can shoot where they want, use this fireball, you know what I mean. But this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter, as we'll not have Maggots with us probably, unless we'll get this from box like Pandora box. So sure. Archdevil decreases lag by 2 instead of 1. So this is a small help if we have the Archdevils with us. I mean, I had sometimes Archdevils in the games, multiplayer games, of course. Only this context, I mean, matters, because for all the single-player maps, you will finally win with the AIs, no matter how hard was your start. But that makes a lot more of balance in the multiplayer games, and I'm talking about multiplayer games. So Archdevils, that's good. But it doesn't change much, as at this point of game where we have Archdevils, the lag decreased, we have even artifacts probably with lag decreased. So only this is a nice change, and amount of imps increased by 5, medium 5. So we have like 5 more in the starting hero, 5 more in the city, in the tavern, and that's it in the first week. So we have 10 extra imps. Unless we start with the imp specialty hero, then we have 15 more, because the medium 5, so 15 more, 20 more imps. That makes some kind of change, because also in the Shadow of Ditch will not start with 3 stacks always, so that's a lot of imps we can have. We can have demons earlier, and basically this is noticeable, but once again, this change makes Inferno a lot stronger than it was before. Necropolis. Oh, this city needed a nerf. The skeleton farming in every game. So, the amount of skeletons raised by necromancy is halved. Nice. I'm not saying no to that. It's not too big, It's not too much, really. Amulet, I mean, all the artifacts are giving half, and now the Cloak on Undead Kings rise 15% enemies dead, a skeleton instead of 30. Okay, so this is just half of them. Necromancy, Fire, nerfed. A number of skeleton rise by the Necromancy skill is now dependent on the total number of slain creatures in enemy army rather than the number of each individual slain stacks. But this comes a bit deeper. Okay, so where you were fighting in Shadow of Ditch with a hero with Necromancy skill, and for example you were fighting with, let's say, you had 10% Necromancy, so basic Necromancy, and you were fighting 7 stacks of 10 pikemans, let's say like that. 70 pikemans. So you will have 10% of necromancy, so from every pikeman you will get one skeleton, so in the total of 7, okay. So you got 7 skeletons. And it matters how the pikemen split. And once again, if you are fighting in the Horn of the Abyss, it doesn't matter, you will have 7. Of course you won't, because the necromancy is nerfed and you have only 5% instead of 10. But if the percentage will be the similar, and then we'll have 7 skeletons also. But once again, if the spikemans will split like, let's say, so let's make a difference. So they should split into I don't know if the okay, all of that depends how this is rendered. I think this is rendered down or up, because if we have 11, I think this is rendered down. So if we have 19, 19, 19, 19 per 7, of course, in the Shadow of Ditch, I think we'll have 7 skeletons anyway, because the 9 halberdiers are not enough to rise 1 more skeleton if this is rounded down. And in the Horn of the Abyss, we have the total number of them in 1 stack, so 7 pyre, 20, 140, 7 less 137. So from that we'll have 13 skeletons, not 7. If this is rounded down, I think it is, I'm not so sure, because I'm not playing Inferno that much. And if I said something not true, I mean, I want to start recording some more short episodes about more like interesting small parts in the game, like 10-15 minutes, and maybe I will record about the skeleton farming in the Shadow of Ditch and in the Horn of the Abyss. And then I can explain this more detailed and without mistakes. So never mind, forget this part, please. And let's go further. So we have the upgrade, 1 less mercury, it doesn't matter. Mausoleum, 5 less sulfur, and 6 less sulfur. That makes sense because it was freaking expensive to build up Mausoleum. Now we can afford this, and oh wait, ore, price on ore, so 5 less ore, 6 less sulfur, and the upgraded 1 less sulfur. So all what matters is the normal Mausoleum, because we'll never probably upgrade them. So 6 less sulfur, that's all what matters. 6 less sulfur. This is important. Okay, sure. Features, so Leeches and Power Leeches can do the same as Magox. And Garfran is banned because this hero is just, come on. And Ranlo is fine. He is possibly one of your main heroes if you wanted to go after him. So they give something what you can use, not like something retarded, okay? And this is his stats, and this is Ranlo is the specialist of Ballista. Yes, Ballista. It doesn't start with the Walking Deads, I think. Skeletons, yes, no Walking Deads. What means you have Ballista, not Walking Deads. I think this is useful. And no more girlfriend because too strong. Okay, dungeon, amount of troglodytes decreased by 10 and by 10. That makes sense because if the hero Shakti will start with all 3 stacks of 30 to 40 troglodytes, imagine the amount of troglodytes plus hero from Cavern plus the amount of troglodytes in the city, and we'll have like 160 troglodytes? What? 100? What? Yes, exactly. So this decreases the amount of units by 10 for Shakti, 30 because he starts with 3 stacks. So like 40 if, yes, so we have like 100, not 140. That makes a lot of sense. Sure. Stronghold, and even after this nerf, it's worth to go after Troglodyte's power stack early on, so it doesn't change, it doesn't make dungeon useless, and it doesn't let dungeon start with ridiculous amount of units, which can let you do a lot of things on the map early on, which any other city cannot. So, Stronghold, Cyclops, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Once again, HotA is awesome. Look at that. We needed, I think, 20 crystals to do the Cyclops cave. 20 crystals. I had never Cyclops in my army then. Never. Because like a Behemoth needed 10, upgraded needed 10. So we can have upgraded Behemoth or we can have normal Cyclops. You can choose. Of course, to have Cyclops, you have also built the Ogres. And for Behemoth, you have to buy rocks, and rocks are a lot more useful. So once again, Cyclopses, man, Stronghold do have level 6 unit? Really? And now we can use them. I mean, probably week 2, but with the next building for Cyclops in the map, where the Cyclops bank, I mean the Wolf Rider bank, where we can get Cyclopses, that makes sense to buy them and, for example, upgrade if we have many Cyclops. So that's good, and the upgraded doesn't require crystal. Wait, the upgrade requires crystal. So that makes sense. That makes sense. And now Stronghold do have level 6 unit. Nice. Fortress. Hero starting armies, so we have increased, so 5 more gnolls and some more serpent flies. Yes, sure. So we don't have void on normal maps without water, we have Kincaria. Kincaria starts with slow. That's all what matters. Is this a huge change? I mean, that makes more balance because like compare 10 to 20 gnolls to 30-40 troglodytes. You tried to compare this? Yeah, that's not even possible. Okay, good. And even if we start with the hero Gnoll specialist, now when it's increased, sure, it's not too powerful. It's okay. Conflux. So next city which needed the nerf. This really needed the nerf. Like 4 firebirds per week. Man, who had this crazy idea? Please tell me. Who and why? So now the growth of firebirds and phoenixes decreased to 1. So after with castle we have 2. So normal level 7 unit. No more double amount of phoenixes and firebirds. I remember many games on when I were playing Shadow of Deej, and before all the recording process, before even knowing how to play the game, before I know, So I were playing Inferno, as you can guess, because I love the city, even when it was one of the Tower in Inferno is one of the worst city in the Shadow of Ditch, no doubt. And I were playing Inferno anyway. And a lot of times we had to fight the AIs, of course, on the random maps. And I can beat every AI, no problem. But when it comes to the fucking freaking, okay, Conflux AI, and he comes like, we have 8 sultans, maybe 2 devils, and he comes with, hello, 8 magic elementals, sure, 8 firebirds. No, no, man, sorry, no. Come on. Nav game, main menu, start the nav game, and see ya. So that's very good. Now we have the structure though, which can let us increase the amount of firebirds, which makes a lot of sense because we cannot compare the firebird to any other unit. Probably it will lose the 1 versus 1 fight with most of the level 7 units. So like 150 health, yes, sure. And upgraded only 200, sure. We need like more than 2, but not 4. So 3. And to have 3, we need a building. And this building requires 1 more day, requires 5k of money, 5 mercury, and of course all the things which we need to have firebirds, sure. um, so week 2, we can have more. So no more crazy firebirds week 2. Like in week 3 we'll have 3 per week, but week 2, yeah, sure. We cannot upgrade to pixies that easy because now we have to have Mage Guild and Magic University. Sure, I think in the Hedge rules anyway it was just banned because we could upgrade to sprites without anything. Without anything upgraded to sprites, easy game. And now it's just banned. We can never have sprites. I mean, this is stupid, but because we want to have every unit, yes? So let's make some balance. Let's not just ban what's not balanced, okay? So now we need to have Mage Guild. So once we do Mage Guild, we want to build up next structures for next army probably. And Magic University, this costs a lot. And that means we can have pixies eventually. But once we can have pixies, it doesn't make them too powerful. Like speed 9, I think 10 on grass terrain, no retaliation. Come on, what is this? Cost of construction power went up to the 20 mercury from 10 and 5k more of money. That makes sense because it was just too easy to have so many firebirds. It was too easy. Aurora border, okay, Grail structure allows learn spells up to according level of Mage Guild in the city. Okay, so this is next nerf, but this doesn't matter as it only is present once we have Grail. So in the Shadow of Ditch we can have, I think, Mage Guild level 1 or no Mage Guild, and we can have level 5 spells, every level 5 spell. And now if we want to have like level 4, we have to have Mage Guild level 4. Maybe sometimes it makes a difference, but in the multiplayer games, once again, Grail structure, I don't know if you are even allowed, if you can dig and get this, to build up this somewhere. I don't know. Maybe you can, but I'm not so sure because it just is so rare situation. Creatures, so birds no more fire immunity, decreased the AI. So we'll just have to fight more firebirds because they are a weak creature. So we'll get also more from Pandora's. And we have to fight more of them because their AI is decreased. Sure. Creature price. Physics elementals, we have to pay more for them. magic elemental, so the upgraded version, I believe, we have to pay more. This is just, what the fuck, 50 money. And 800 for level 6 unit, once Naga Queens cost 1600. So we can have 2 magic elementals or 1 Naga Queen. Shadow of Ditch, balance. Firebirds, increased the cost. That doesn't matter. We can buy like 2-3 of them, and this is 1.5k of money. It doesn't make big difference. But nice. Cost of phoenixes increased 1k more. That makes sense. Other neutral grass zone without town can become a conflict zone. Oh, and it couldn't? Without town. I don't know what does it mean exactly. Maybe if there we have like some kind of zone, and there is the zone without city, from boxes and the dwellings we can have for conflicts, like we can have some builds from Pandora boxes, or we can have some building, how this is called, some pirates or some kind of that. Once there is no town in the zone, doesn't make, I think, a big difference in games. Okay, how long this is? 51 minutes. Is there a lot more in this part? Start book fixing. Okay, I think we can continue. I mean, we can end this part. We had the conflicts there. Yes, I told you there is a lot of things. Some new artifacts, not many, and not every we can use. Diplomat's Cloak. So basically, when we have all the artifacts to reduce the cost of retreating, or more likely, not retreating but surrendering, we can from all of these 3 create one bigger. And what does it mean? Allows your hero to retreat or surrender when battling neutral monsters on defending a town. Multiplies your hero army strength by 3 for neutral armies and types killed. So we can like trick enemies and they will just run away, we will not have to fight them. Okay. We can surrender by fighting monsters. I mean, once we don't have town portal and we have to somehow transport our army from one edge of the map to the next edge, and we have a lot of money, there is a lot of if to make this work. But we can definitely surrender one defending a town. So unless we have better artifacts, I think we can use this. And reduce the cost of surrendering by 30. So we have like 5 or 10, 10, 10. And that makes some sense. I don't know how does it work with diplomacy, because maybe we'll have to pay like nothing. Because it will reduce 30 here and 60 and diplomacy. I don't know. Maybe this is the topic for next this short episode. Pendant of Reflection. That means okay, all the artifacts for resistance, and once we have 5, 10, 15, we can create an artifact. What does it mean? That just increases your magic resistance. So you had with these components 30%, and you will get additional 20. Okay, sure. Iron Fist of the Ogre. Iron Fist of the Ogre. I had this in one of my single maps, and I didn't even notice that I can do it. Just I had a feeling, oh, wait. HotA made one of those artifacts similar to the part of artifacts I have now. Let's check it out. And I checked and I had all the required stuff. And maybe it was in the single map. The first one on my channel, how this was called, I don't remember. The first single map, I think. We had the Ogre Iron Fist. What does it mean? We need the 5 attack skill. I think this is 5 attack skill. We need also the Shield of Ogres. I think this is 5 defense. Tunic of the Cyclops, I think 4 power and 4 knowledge. So it's close to the Armor of the Damned, but the version like full in, not the slow, and so that's like buffing ourselves, not debuffing enemies. And this is a lot worse than Armor of the Damned. Okay. So at the beginning of the combat, the Fist will cast Bloodlust, so 6 attack skill, Fire Shield, Counter Strike, oh, Expert. I mean, this is still 6 attack skill. I think Fire Shield like 20%. Counter Strike, that means we can retaliate 4 times. 50 rounds on unallied troops. Wait a second. No haste? I think it will cast haste. I think it cast haste. Haste. Are you sure about that? 3 spells. Bloodlust, Fire Shield, Counter Strike. I think it cast haste also. Increase your attack 5 and power 4. Okay, you know what? I will quickly go and check this. I think it's not correct. Hmm. I think it's okay, here we go. And now artifacts. Where are artifacts? Okay, artifacts, yes, and we have. I mean, I can show you that one if this works. Not really. Okay. Okay, so where it is? Yes, at the beginning of the fight, it cast haste, bloodlust, fire shield, master level. But this site is in Polish, so you won't understand anyway. Does it work? Yes, now we can see this, but you couldn't see the previous anyway. Sure. So that means there is a small mistake, and it's also haste. Because without haste, this artifact makes no sense. Yes, haste. So haste, 5 speed, 6 attack skill. This and this doesn't matter. So this is a lot worse. But if we have access to this, I mean, it's not bad because we can cast slow on our enemies. So we have haste. That makes sense, but not like making this so strong. Golden Goose is the artifact. We have to have all the money artifacts like 5, 750, 1000, and then we can create this, and it brings on us additional 2.25 money, chaos money. Okay, and then we have no more artifacts to create, just a normal 7 attack skill, 7 defense, 6 spell power, 6 knowledge. Wayfire boots, so no penalty. That's good artifact. I think this should be more value. I think it's the guards for Wayfire boots are too easy because this artifact is just super good. That's my point of view. Ring of Suppression, -1 morale. This is awesome. Hideous Mask, -1 morale. Pendant of the Downfall. This is -2 morale, and this is 7k cost. Once there is a guard for this pendant, it's a hard fight because this is very good protection. This is Major artifact, yeah. Wayfarer boots Major also? So the guard will be the same, I think it's the same. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Around, so we have -1 luck, also -1 morale, luck again with other artifact, and -2 luck. Ring of Oblivion, it's interesting, and I mean, sometimes it's completely useless, sometimes it can change the game. For example, if you are fighting versus Archangels, you may want to have this ring. If you fight versus even Pit Lords, maybe first let's read what does it mean when we have it. When worn makes all losses in the battle irrecoverable. Corpses disappear right after unit's death, resurrection, animate death, sacrifice are banned for use. Vampirism only restores health but does not bring back dead units, and that cannot be raised using necromancy after battle. So, so in mansions, if we have this ring, it's easier to fight mansions, a bit easier, not a big deal, but a bit easier. Archangels will not resurrect. Maybe we want them to resurrect because then they won't attack us, so... But I'm not so sure. The other stack will attack, so I don't know. Against Pit Lords? But against, in the final battle, when your opponent have advantage in spells and you don't have any kind of orbs, recanter cloaks, so you can't resurrect. There is some use of this artifact, but it's kinda hard to make use of this. But it's interesting one, and sometimes it's nice to have it. Cape of Silence. No level 1 and level 2 spells in battle. This is awesome. I love this because, come on, we have final fight and all we cast is haste, slow, implosion, haste, slow, implosion. Come on. This is so boring, or no passive orb. And this makes some sense because Recanter's Cloak, once again, we have only haste, slow, nothing else. I mean, sometimes maybe blind, I don't know, maybe bless, maybe mass shield. I mean, talking about final fights, not the fight in general with monster, because then you will never want this because it just removes some possibilities for you. But this brings some fresh, and unless both of you have implosion, the final fight will be a lot more interesting because no level 1, no level 2. That's nice artifact, and this when it's handy. It's handy when you don't have anything else, and it's handy when you have high level spells like such as implosion with a lot of spell power, and you don't have mass earth and mass air magic. You want to have both of them because unless, yes, if your opponent will cast something and you don't have mass haste when he mass slows you, it sucks. So there is a lot of use of this artifact. Do not appear on random maps. Horned Abyss. This is the same name of the artifact as the expansion. This is very like relic. Okay, costs a lot and it's just awesome. I mean, this is OP artifact. I will read what does it mean, but we cannot have this on random maps. So, after a stack of living creatures is slain, a stack of Fangam will rise in their stead and will stay loyal to the hero after the battle concludes. Total hit points of the stack will be equal to half of the slain stack's total hit points, but quantity of the Fangarms summoned those should not exceed exceed half of quantity of creatures in the slain stack. Flying Fangarms will not trigger the horn effect. So basically, if a unit dies, yours or enemies, this artifact will summon Fangarms for you. These guys with Hypnotize, yes. There we can see how much hit points and how many of them will rise. So for example, I think this is 50 health, the Fangarm. So let's say, what's 50 health in the game? Let's say, not 50, but let's say Gorgon is dying. 10 Gorgons will have 5 Fangarms. Come on! We have something lower, like 100 Pikemans, but their health is not enough much, so we need to have 1k, so half 10 Fangarms also from 100 Pikemans. And the Fangarms will stay with us. So this is like summon demons with no pit lords, with no units to sacrifice. You just fight and you're getting army. This is like a lot stronger than skeletons farming. This is why this is banned. I think this is in one of the last. This is in the last map of campaign, the campaign Horn of the Abyss campaign, and that makes sense because come on, once we'll get this artifact, game is over. So sure. There we have some more. This is almost the end. I will not split this right now, and I will just do 2 episodes, and this is just going to end in a second. So we have new creature banks, experimental shops. We can get giants. We have to fight iron golems. It's extremely hard to fight them because they are very tanky. So comparing to griffins, the numbers are the same, but comparing the health, they're a lot more healthy. Yes, so this means 10 golems, 10 griffins. So we have like 100 health more in each stack. And there we have 400 more health. They cannot get morale. They are not flying. They have 1 less speed than griffins, but this is very hard. And the giants are not as powerful as angels, so we have to be careful of this. Wolf Rider Picket. This is interesting. If you have some quicker units and you can one-shot them, it really is very easy to farm them with no problems. You can farm maxi. But in early game, when you have slow units, Wolf Riders will just eat you. The reward is okay, but early on it's very hard to farm this, unless you have mass haste, mass slow. Red Tower, we have to fight fire elementals, and we'll get firebirds. This is balanced. This is in good place. This makes a lot of sense, and we can have firebirds. Awesome. Black Tower. This is, I mean, not every, but this is just a joke. We have to fight 1 green dragon, and we'll get 2k of money and 1 minor artifact. Minor is not bad. We can get like boots of speed, -1 morale, something like 4 attack skill, I think. Very good artifacts there, and a lot of money. Same with red dragon. And to kill this green dragon, we don't have to have much. It's possible with every faction in the first day. Sometimes this fight is a lot easier than Maxi Crypt. Maxi Crypt. Let's compare this to the crypt with 5 vampires. Sometimes on the first day you won't be able to fight 5 vampires crypt, and you're always able to win with these dragons. And the reward is almost the same because crypt will give you 500 more, and crypt will give you lower artifact, the treasure, and we have minor, so this is better artifact. Maybe about artifacts we'll do some kind of tutorials, maybe, we'll see. But this green dragon and red dragon is too easy to kill them, and the reward is too high. Once it comes to Gold Dragon, we have to think if we really want to fight them, because of course we have more money, the class of artifact is the same, but the Gold Dragon will go first, will attack us, and without tactics or something we can have some losses, and it's not that easy to kill the dragon with 250 health, so this is okay, and this is okay. Because one more time, the same situation, this dragon is stronger, he will do something, and sure. And this is terrain. Okay, value in the city. Churchyards, that's interesting. Once again, I think you know what I'm talking about if I will say that we have some like crazy, maybe not crazy, but like some strategies to fight every crypt, every maxi crypt with some cities, like with Rampart, we have to put our elves like there, with even some marksmen and 1 stacks of pikemen. We can do maxi crypt day 1. I think 60 marksmen and 6 times 1 pikeman can beat a maxi crypt always with no losses. I mean, losses are the pikemen. So that's interesting. And once again, a churchyard is close to that one, but it's a lot harder in day 1. They have like too much health, the walking deads. But with some factions like with Grand Elves, the Rampart, it's easy to kill them. I don't know what about others, but just basically they are slow, no morale. So with some tactics and well played battle, you can get this, and this is fine because not a lot of. I mean, this is comparable with the dragons reward, but this is a lot harder than the dragon fight, so that's okay. Okay, mention. This is extremely hard. This is too hard. Of course, there is a major artifact, so one of these good. But once again, they are speed 9, no retaliation, flying, and they can cost you some losses. We can see that there is lots, horde, throng. So we probably know how many vampires we have to deal. And to be honest, every time I were fighting Mansion, it wasn't a good decision. Only one time it was a good decision, but this game is not published. It was the game versus Meridian, when I were playing Inferno and he were playing Cove on Gibbous Cross, and I fight at Mansion. I lost all my pit lords, so I couldn't summon more demons. Of course I lost some more other things, but I got Cape of Velocity. And for the Inferno units, which like Demon Power Stack, all of this is slow. And this 2 more speed is extremely useful, and I think I was even happy trading these units to get this Cape of Velocity. Of course, some more resources. Don't remember how big the vampires was, I think 60 or 80 on day 4 or 5. And of course I could get like the money artifact or something else, and then it was worth it just because I were lucky with the artifact I got. Normally it's too strong. Unless you have like a very good army and doesn't matter, you can beat Utopias and everything, then of course you can go and fight this. And on maps without water, I will just tell you that there are Beholder Sanctuary, so 50, 75, 100, 150. Every time, no, minor, major artifact. So this is extremely hard to fight, I can imagine. Temple of the Sea is it's like Dragon Utopia. So we have 8, 7, 3, 2. I mean, this is, yeah, probably same as Dragon Utopia. I mean, talking about how hard it is to fight them. Maybe this is a smaller Utopia. So Hydra Sea Serpents, House Hydras, and Haspids. And different numbers of them. This is interesting. I like if we could have this on our random maps, because once again there comes some fresh things. We can have money and artifacts with that. Nice. Pirate Cavern. So basically you have to fight pirates and will get sea serpents, but once again it will not be on random maps. So Eiffel Tower, we have to fight archmages. Oh, it's very rare when we can see archmages. Okay, and we can have enchanters and split. Okay, so fight basilisk and we'll get money. And this is interesting because basilisk will be up, down, right, left, and no the same position of them as with all other banks. A new type of object, warehouse, so you know you can go and get this 10 wood, 10 mercury, 6 of the other resource, and 2k of money. Okay, sure. Once a week, so like windmills, mystical gardens. Changes to original objects. Is this a lot of this? Wow, wow, wow. There is a lot of things. So let's speed this up a bit, I would say. So if a creature has multiple external dwellings, each of the succeeding ones will be granted less frequently. What does it mean? So, for example, we are playing Jibus Cross. We have like map is generating. We have like one Ifrit dwelling, so the chance to have next Ifrit dwelling is lower. What does it mean? It's harder to have power stack, so that makes so in Shadow of Ditch is easier game in Shadow of Ditch comparing to Horned Abyss with this change. Cartographers are removed from random maps and they cost like a lot more, 10k, 9k more. I think this should cost even more than 10,000 because this is just OP. Game Master Tent are removed from randoms. Sears Hat cannot recover artifacts that are part of combination artifacts. So you don't have anymore these stupid questions. Oh, I have this sword free attack skill. I could do I could go for Armor of the Damned. Maybe I will get all the rest parts, but the Sears Hat wants this artifact. Maybe I want to give it. No, not anymore. Sanctuary, no on random maps. Trading post, the value is increased like 30 times. That makes a lot of sense because I remember that I said that lava terrain is stupid and I mean is harder and stupid because we don't have the trading post, but it doesn't matter in the HotA because in the Shadow of Ditch, value of this object is as low as it's not even protected. The trading post is not even protected in the Shadow of Ditch. So one more time, where is balance when you can trade your resources like there is no tomorrow with a very good exchange ratio? Come on. Now this is always protected by some kind of not easy guards for early week 1. So that we don't have this on lava terrain as Inferno players doesn't make very big difference. And of course this change is very good. It needed to be increased. The value of obelisk is reduced, so no more heavy guards for obelisk, and we can have only one obelisk in the zone. Okay. Only one den of hives and only 3 taverns are allowed per zone. I sometimes don't have any tavern, and den of hives is fine. Changes to the spell scrolls, this is important. So the value for the scroll level 4 increased 2 times more. So if the unit is protecting only the spell scroll in the Shadow of Ditch, in the Horn of the Abyss there will be 2 times more of the units. But Town Portal and Water Walk spell is no more level 4 spell. This is how I can call this. So all chain lightings, meteor showers, the value is 8 15,000. The value for level 5 though, I once again 2 times more, but no fly and no dimension door as level 5 spells. So what else? We have Implosion, some kind of summon elemental, sacrifice, but only Implosion I think matters, and it's harder to get this. And now, scrolls like Town Portal, Fly, Dimension Door, and if there is Water, Water Walk, value is 15,000. Frequency of occurrence 30, I think that means will not have a lot. I mean, the chance of getting this is lower. I think this means that one. And maximum one in the zone. So look how much balance it brings. Firstly, if we want to have one of those super good artifacts, I mean scrolls, which gives us spells, we have to fight comparing. So Town Portal in Shadow of Ditch 4k. Here 15, so like 4 times more. So imagine fighting 4 times more units to get the Town Portal spell. Yes, that makes sense. And then 5k 15 for Fly and Dimension Door, so 3 times more. So now it's not that easy, even if you have access to one of those scrolls, to get them. And it was probably why in the training game with Conflux, when we had the dwelling for birds and this was protected by Hydras, why there was 9 Hydras. I expected 5 to 6, but it was the Town Portal spell, which is value 15,000, so the guard is bigger, and sometimes it can destroy you because all the scrolls looks the same and you don't know. Maybe there is like 20 monks, maybe there is 49, and no more easy TP, fly, and DD. Restrictions of maximum number of scrolls. Okay, so we cannot have many spells level 5, and okay. Mechanism of uniform distribution of spells in the scrolls map will always have about the same amount of scrolls with all the spells of the same level, and scrolls with the same spells are less likely to be near each other. Okay. Elemental conflux dwelling on the map gives +1 to the increase in air, water, fire, and earth, not just for ale. So same the training game with conflux. I thought that this dwelling will give me on the city only +1 to air elementals, but as I noticed, it gives to everyone. So as it should work. Following objects from original game are now generated on random maps. So we can have on random maps what? Golem factory. Okay, so we can produce all golems. The value density and in the neutral and tower zones. And the elemental conflux, so this is what we had on our game. We can have air, water, fire, earth, value proportionately lowers the density of all elemental dwellings. Okay. And freelancers guild, so there we can sell the units and get resources, and this is not protected, as you can see, value 100, and this is never protected. So same as trading post in the Shadow of Ditch, but compare how useful is trading post and freelancers guild. Yeah. The crypt, direct ship, and shipwreck shows the approximate number of the or foes after the visit. When you visit any of those, the morale is reduced immediately if it was previously loaded without a window. Okay, so that means just we know how many units are in the crypt and the ships only on water maps. So that's good change, I would say, because only on crypts we couldn't know. So now everything is the same. Sure. Value of a state. So the dwelling for vampires is multiplied by 3. So from 3k to 9k. Just because the vampire lords are OP. Okay? You cannot say they are not. You probably saw Mikix or the known world video about how balanced vampire lords are. So you know that makes sense. Value of hovel, so for the peasants, multiplied by 3, so they will not appear more often than available. Okay, so this is like, now it's like level 1 unit. No more, I mean, maybe on other templates, not on the Gibbous Cross, we could see like 3 times peasant dwelling close to each other, and then you are buying 25 of them for free and transferring them into skeletons and necropolis OP again. The image of every town depends on its fort level. So no fort, citadel, castle and capital. So once we will build one of those, we can see a small difference. Firstly, it's for us, because just we see that something is changing around us. That's nice. And once again, now we know what we have to fight in the neutral with the neutral cities or AI cities, so we know if he has the citadel or castle and all of that. New hill forts only upgrade level 1 to 5, because 6, 7 is too much. We can have the Wyverns, Angels. No, this is too much. We cannot upgrade them for free. We have to build this in towns, so that makes sense. Then we can upgrade some less value units and just new objects, sure. So like demons, maybe some kind of units which can give us some speed when upgraded. Okay, Shrine of Magic Mystery, so level 4 spell. Sure, why not? Cannon Yard, so we can have cannons there. That means sometimes we could have something better, because we could have like some kind of dwelling, or I don't know, maybe dwarven treasury, and we have cannon, and probably we are not buying cannon for 5k of money. That's okay. Temple of Loyalty. So for 1 day, I think. A visiting hero will have all morale penalties for having creature or bird in his army removed until the next turn. Yeah. So once we have many units for other cities and we have like -3 morale for alignments, then we are visiting this and no more bad morale, but only for 1 day. Skeleton Transformer, this is useful because you are not normally buying this in the Necro City, if the Necro City is your main city, and you can have this on map, so you can transfer all the stupid level 1 units into skeletons, but it can be only on Subterranea, so no skeleton transformer. A lot of stalking in the Gibbous Cross, but on me nostalgia and this kind of stuff we can have it. Ancient Lamp, so we can have Master Genies. You can buy Master Genies. As you can see, the frequency of occurrence is only 2, and it's very little chance to see this. I think this was in the game versus John Quindry, when he were playing Inferno. He had this on his own. Okay, Colosseum of the Magi, it's 2 spell power, all 2 knowledge for free. So same as the arena for attack and defense, we have that. So I don't know why it wasn't always here in the heroes, because once we had that same structure for attack and defense, why not make this for spell power and knowledge? Watering place, so the place where we can stay, and next day we'll have 1k movement, and only I think on rough areas. Town Gate, this makes a lot of changes. So we can teleport without any kind of cost to mana and any additional cost to movement points. Only one per zone. Sure, the value is 10k. Maybe you want to compare the value to other object because you don't know what means 10k, but that means it's, let's say, 50 level 3 unit protecting this, something like that. Added 12 new two-way monoliths. Okay, that doesn't matter. Do not shadow on random maps without water. Sea barrel, Judson, vial of mana, we can get mana. Seafaring Academy, what does it mean? Always allows to pay 2k for studying or improving secondary skill of free thought. Navigation is always one of those free. Altar of mana. Heroes may sacrifice creatures for spell points up to 4 times the normal cap. Each sacrificed creature gives a value. Okay. Okay, that's you can kill units to get mana. Okay. Observatory, for 1 week we have like plus 2 scouting. Sure. Like stables, but gives us scouting. Map editor supports all additions. Never mind, it's hard to talk now. And it's almost the end, okay? I think this will be a long one. Yes, this will be a long one. Maybe I will not split this into 2. Don't know. In battle interface, in advisor to interface. Okay. So, okay, the choice of battle speed is limited up to 5 options. Okay, so just the units can move faster and will not lose the time once I think the slowest animation was for the upgraded air elementals, the storm elementals when they are moving, not shooting, moving. I think this is the slowest animation ever. And wow, with speed 1 it like takes forever for him to move 1 hex. And this speed increasing is nice because I'm using this always, so nice. Fixes interface for selecting spell target. Okay, cast in activation button changed for fairy dragons from F to J. Yes, it was sometimes like, what the fuck, why can I not use their ability to cast? And it was F, not G. Now everything is on G. That makes sense. Of course, fairy dragons only on single maps. Information about current spell duration is added into few creature window and creature moves over statistics. This is very important. In the shadow of this, you have no idea how many rounds the unit will be slowed or anything else, blinded. Why not? Information about possible number of killed creatures added to possible damage. Okay, so now we don't have to do the stupid calculations. How many units can we kill? And this will show us. Just making the game, you know, giving you less options to do stupid mistakes. And you can focus on more important stuff. New hero road. So, okay, added a new hero color, dark red, that shows where the player would not arrive, even with full movement pool. So, meaning that if the hero ends the move on the cell of the current position, he will be able to reach any cell that has a green or light red arrow above it. He will not be able to reach cells with dark red arrow above them. So you know what I mean. What that means, we can just a lot easier figure out how far the hero can go. In the shadow of ditch, sometimes players are wasting the movement just to easier calculate how far the hero can go. And now, no more, one more time, stupid actions to do. When visiting creature banks, information about the guards was added. If it can be seen by clicking the right mouse or via dragging the mouse over the information window. So for example, Dragonfly Hives, we don't have to visit, like step on that and go back and click and check how many. We can just stay on there and we'll have information in our window, how many are here. That makes sense. Added a display of creatures available for hire in the window by clicking the right mouse button. The hint by pointing mouse at an external window when visiting the dwelling owned by yourself or an ally. Oh, really? I mean, it wasn't in the Shadow Ditch? Okay, so that's again something nice. Added a dynamically calculated effect summary in many spell descriptions. Visions show their effect radius, okay. Firewall and landmine show their damage. Cure shows the amount of healed points. Resurrection and Eliminate that now shows the maximum amount of restored hit points. Sacrifice shows how much extra HP will be added for every sacrificed creature. Hypnotize shows the maximum health of the controlled stacked. And Summons Error shows the amount of summoned elementals, and it wasn't in the Shadow Ditch. You could calculate this with some knowledge, but once again, why? And just see. The chat font is changed to, okay, never mind. Added numeric description of army's approximate size. I don't know what this means. Oh, I see. If this is lots, we can see from how many to how many units are there. Okay, that's important and also makes a game a bit easier for new players because they don't have to remember all the lots was from how many to how many. Added the hero exchange button on a city screen. A hero exchange. Okay, so once we are in city, oh, this is big. So once there we have city visiting the city and hero in the garrison. We can meet each other. This doesn't cost any movement, and the problem in Shadow of Ditch is that we don't have this option, and we have to like go out from the city, go out with the next hero from the garrison, and then transport the artifacts. So we have to like have 7 heroes. So that means we can have 8 heroes, and we don't have to kill the heroes to let our artifacts go with our army. That's good. Also, we can do the scholar thing without any kind of cost to movement. Added the option to disable background sound in the adventure map. System of the sounds of new day, weekend move, the sound of battle, the background sound, and sounds of side visits. We can disable this. Okay, added support for new map size. So we have bigger maps, and super bigger maps. This is like ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And the bug fixing. Yes, there is many of this. I mean 25 only, but we remember how many changes were here and like. Okay, they are. Here we have bugs, but how many things we had to balance, like the trading post, like firebirds, like many things, troglodytes, yeah. There are only bugs. Fixes already introduced in HD mode. So without Horn of the Abyss, we'll have those changes. Okay, let's see. Naga Bank gives gems instead of sulfur as a reward. Yes, I remember that Naga Bank gave us sulfur and like what the fuck. This was their, yes, it was originally planned and they just like forgot about them. Fixed incorrect spell probabilities for fairy dragons, so a bit under chances for every kind of spell. Fixed bug of starting hero above above. Okay, sometimes we could get hero level 5, starting hero level 5. Various quick combat bugs. I don't know what does it mean, but fixed bug of selling artifacts by higher prices. This was interesting. There was a bug to sell every artifact by the cost of, like, we could have the most value artifact on the first place of our backpack, and this artifact we can like choose, okay, we want to have money from that, so we are clicking the artifacts, we are clicking the money or artifact mechanics, of course, the money that we can, and like we want to sell this, but we are not doing this, and with the arrows to like view the other artifacts from our backpack, we can change the current artifact, and the artifact we can change like to something like we can have firstly Spellbinder's Hat and later the center axe, and the center axe will cost as much as the Spellbinder's Hat. Of course, we are selling this, so we are like getting million money from that, and this is important. I mean, sometimes probably in the multiplayer games in Shadow of Deeds you have honor and you're not doing this bug, but if you are doing this, it's like free for Utopias, like a lot of money, incredible. Fixed some not me bugs. Fixed what? Fixed the object reading tips for another player. Fixed the hero next hero button during the enemy turn. But fixed the ability to view the enemy city and a related crash. Okay, fixed reviewing window built on behalf of another player. Fixed a miscalculation bug that allows to buy a maximum unit count according to another player resources. Okay, I see. Fixed some bugs of army fleet dialogue, including the possibility to leave a hero without army. Okay, so this was something what we could do. Like Sears Hat wanted some army, we could give them and survive like with no armies. I think after summoning elementals, when our original army dies and we stayed with elementals, we won the battle, we are on map without army. Even in the Warfire, this bug was used to like survive first week. Fixed the false appearing of pikemen in the refuge camp. Always pikemen on refuge camp. I mean on Archangel's dwelling. Always pikemen. Now it's better, I think. Fixed creature bugs while under the berserk spell. What? The shooting squad shoots at the closest hex of the closest squad possible. If there are several squads, only one is chosen randomly. In melee combat, a squad always chooses the closest enemy and hex that is easiest to reach. If there are several possible squads, one is chosen randomly. The squad does not pass a turn if it is possible to reach the target. Okay. Changes the list of possible factions to set the one for dwellings, Pandora boxes, and Sears Hut for the zone without town, depending on the type of area. Okay. All right. You can read this by yourself. Does it matter? Every mention of faction has chance. Okay. On Dirt we can have that. Now it's better. And neutrals will be picked for any terrain, otherwise fractions randomly selected from the list corresponding to the type area with equal chances. Okay. So we can have like neutral zone. So we can, okay, I know what this means. There are no more neutral zone. Okay, yes, so like sharpshooters from Pandora boxes, okay. So no more like that. Zones, so this was what came with HD mode, I think. The zone size now matches the settings defined by template more accurately. Yes, yes, yes. Random map can RMG, yes. Object guard tilting back fixed. It's not impossible to trigger side objects without alerting the guard. Yes, so with the fly. When flying over a guarded tile, when side tile is the final destination of the fight, the combat will now not be triggered before the tile is questioned is in fact reached. Thus, incorrect positioning of a hero performing the flight is fixed. Okay. Fixed limited ammo incorrect behavior. What? A war machine cannot shoot with a zero or negative and what? They could? War machines cannot shoot with a zero or negative ammunition. If the war machine cannot shoot, it skips a turn in the same manner as first aid tent when it has nobody to hail. Arrow towers have unlimited ammo. What? We could shoot with our ballista with no shoots? What the fuck? Shadow Beach. Added a shot cost for shooting at the wall. Okay. Fixed a bug with double shooting with a single remaining shoot. Okay. Interesting. Fixed the neutral carrying bug. Neutrals carrying bug. Now, if there are neutrals in the army, even if in first slot, the hero cannot ignore the terrain penalty due to the fact that this terrain is home terrain for some creature. The hero moves across any terrain without penalty if it has no creatures. There was a bug, even I think Mickey used this in his one of the games, the recently games on YouTube he published. He played with, I think, wait a second, Fortress. He had some neutrals on first slot, and while moving on the swamp terrain, no penalty of moving. No more bugs like that. Fixed an incorrect calculation of bonus damage for arrow towers. So now it works correctly. Fixed incorrect intervals between offers to take wisdom and air, water, fire, earth, magic for elementalist. Wow. Earlier, elementalist was offered wisdom no later than 6 levels after the previous offer, and all the types of magic were offered every 4 as for all might heroes. Now wisdom and all types of magic are offered no later than level 3 as for all magic heroes, so as you know from the secondary skills. Fixed a bug when, so just for elementalist it doesn't work the same way, now it works correctly. Fixed a bug when battle machines were included in the cost of buyout. Okay. Okay. Fixed a bug when buying a hero out, improving the scouting skill, or using an artifact regarding the view radius. Previously, the view radius was updating after the move. Wait a second. Fix a bug when buying a hero out, improving the secondary skill, or using an artifact regarding the view radius. Previously, the rule was updated after. Okay, so once we are probably like buying a hero on Tavern on map, and that hero on we bought have the scouting. The scouting started to work once we moved the hero somewhere. Now the hero is scouting right now without moving him, what makes a lot of sense, of course. Sure. Where it was? Here. Fixed an AI bug in tactics phase that moved a 2 hex unit 1 hex closer to the enemy that the skill permitted. Yes, this bug is very popular. So once we have tactics and 2 hexes units, and we move the unit to the right as much to the right as possible, we can quickly click A, which triggered auto combat, and then escape to close the auto combat, and then the selected unit, which is as right as possible, will move 1 more hex, even though if the tactics shows that it's not possible, because the auto combat thinks that the like how this is called the next hex. How this is called? I mean, the second hex is count where the unit is, and like the head can go, like for centaurs, the body on left is count. Like, I don't know. I were talking like more than 1 hour, and now it's so hard to find a way to. But you can find out by yourself only in Shadow of Deed, because now it's repaired, and it helped a lot of times in players, and now they are using this all the time. I mean, in the Hydra league, so like Wyvern can reach a shooter in first round with this bug. A lot of things. Badge of Courage no more gives mind spell immunity. No, it wasn't a bug. It should work like that. Fixed a bug with Harpy return after the Dendroid attack. Lol? Really? Okay. Interesting. Fixed a bug with Forgetfulness being mass effective already at advanced water magic. Ooh, didn't know that. Fixed a bug when summoned and sacrificed creatures could be raised using necromancy. It also worked on raised demons, not counting the original demon creature. When summoned and sacrificed creatures could be raised. So now only living creatures. I mean, no, only the creatures on the beginning of the fight are. So that's a small nerf for necromancy. I mean, how many times you let pit lords to rise demon just to have more skeletons? I mean, yeah, not changing this much, but okay, not bad. Starting skills Ulan's Wisdom and Dimmer's Scouting downgraded from Advanced to Basic. Each of them has 2 starting skills. Yes, Uland started with Advanced Wisdom and Dimmer with Advanced Scouting on level 1, and something else on level basic level. So now it is how it should. University does not offer necromancy anymore. We could learn necromancy from university. I mean, all the heroes who can have necromancy are necromancers and they already have necromancy, and all the rest living heroes don't have a chance to even buy the necromancy out. So that's just a wasted slot in university. But for every kind of hero, it's possible to learn necromancy if we'll visit the witch hut. And I think witch hut are, I mean, leadership and necromancy is banned in witch huts, just because, of course, necromancers don't want the morale and others don't want necromancy. Remove the possibility for a road to go through a backed way or to be blocked by prison on random maps. Cities within a single zone are always connected with a road net within that zone if its main town has fort. So I saw this sometimes on Jibu's Cross. I thought it's a bug. Of course, it is a bug, and that means the restart scenario. But it's not the case. So like, it's hard to explain. You have to see this by yourself. But like, prison counts for, in the Shadow of Deeds, prison counts for the map generator like no object, and like it's not blocking the way. But it is, because once we unlock the prisoner, there is nothing like on map, okay? But before unlocking the prison, there is something what's blocking, and in one game, one of the Russian player had to go on Jibu's Cross, had to go like 5 days around, just because right in his starting city he had this crazy block. So like, come on, what is this? And once he unlocked the prison, he could go freely on with road. That was interesting. So no more stupid blocks like that. Fixed and incorrect. The multi-path connections, too many paths were generated. Okay. Fixed a bug where the RMG would create a portion of a zone has a narrow plot of land hedging the map edge. Okay. Fixed a bug where the RMG would create faulty zone transfers after creating objects along the zone borders. Okay. The damage for spells shown in the spell description now accounts to the hero's specialization if the damage is not dependent on the target parameters, as for Luna and Ciele. Okay, so not big deal. Not big deal, because the damage it's only shown. Yes, so this damage were working the same way, but it just shows not true. Okay. When artillery skill guarantees increased ballista and cannon damage, it will now be displayed when checking potential damage. But when artillery skill guarantees increased ballista and cannon damage, it will now be displayed where? When checking potential damage. Oh, okay, I think I know what does it mean. I'm not so sure, but probably once we want to click like on cannon and see the damage, the fact we have artillery will be like added to the damage. Fixed a bug when a player could once again visit the sirens after a combat. What? Lul. But only in water. Fixed a bug where a player could abuse the Admiral's hut for endless movement points. What? Absence of a recalculation of movement points after hero fled in naval battle is also fixed. I want to see this bug. Endless movement points. So like, and we've seen Nebuchadnezzar. Player could abuse the Admiral's hut. For endless movement points, absence of recalculation of movement points after hero fled in naval battles also fixed. Huh. Nice. So I'm not so sure if I want to do one more episode. Maybe I will just record this in one, because this is really not much. Maybe it looks like a lot, but no, a lot of, like, this is the same. Ranlu, Knolls, and this was the same Gorgolas. Yes, let's do this till the end. So once something will, I mean, with Cove I didn't read the things, maybe I should. I don't know why there is a second post, but let's see. Alignment neutral, terrain. Okay, so we have the units. Nymph, Oceanid, okay, Chromat, Corsair. Sure, Aspids. Hero classes are Captains and Navigators. Captains are Corks, Jeremy, Elor, Derek, Lina, Annabelle, Cassiopeia, Miriam, and Elmore, not Derek, if there is a water. Navigators, Casmetra, Vacuus, OP sheet, Spint, Andal, Manfred, Silar, Astra, Darjim, and of course Jeremy is also very strong. Campaign, we have Bidley and Tark. Tark, I think, is the specialist of Nexus. Buildings. I think this was something what we read. We have read. Yes, about this sacrifice. Yes. So creature dwellings. How much does it cost? I mean, it's not so important and so interesting, I would say. Grave structure, we know this is the path how we can buy the city. So if you want to have a quick look, I will stay there for a second. Is there anything that's important? To upgrade Whirlpool, we need Mage Guild level 2. Really? I mean, for how they are called, for Haspids, we have to do Mage Guild level 2. Okay. If you want to have Frigate, we have to have Blacksmith. Sure. Okay. Cove has its own puzzle map. Music for town, for Cove. Cove boat. I saw this. This looks the best. This is awesome. The boat for Cove looks like the pirate boat. So awesome. Change of rolling a spell in each slot in the Mage Guild. Okay, so we can see how much chance do we have to have a certain to have one of those spells. So Magic Arrow is very high as always for every town. We cannot have cures, that makes sense. We have a bigger chance for this spell. Super. Case 10%, slow 5. Every city has this kind of percent and it's different for every town. So even if I read all of this, it doesn't matter because it's hard to anyhow compare this to others. 50% for Ice Bolt, lol. Lol. No Death Ripple, no Blind. Pooh! No Blind. And there is nothing important. Level 3, level 4, Town Portal 10%. Don't know how does it work when there is no water. Can we still get Water Walk? Or the 10% will be added everywhere? I don't know. No Armageddon, no Blind, no Armageddon. Small chance for Berserk. Resurrection only 5. Okay. No spell level 5. Creatures, all the statistic, attack, defense, all of that. A value, fight value, I think 5 value is almost the same for every creature. Sometimes it's lower or higher. and that means when the unit will just run away from us, I think, and maybe how the unit will split. I'm not so sure about this. A value means how this could be described. Let's say we have what we could have, the mansion, and the mansion is protected by nymphs, and their A value is 57. In the other place we have mansion also, but protected, let's say, with demons, and let's say demons A value is like 3 times bigger, higher. That means we will have more nymphs and less demons. I don't know if this is that similar, that easy, that for creatures with 3 times higher A value will have 3 times less units fight, but that just determines the amount of units we'll have to fight for certain objects. So we can like compare AA value 57 to like pikemen, and if this is the same, that means for this we can like replace nymphs with pikemen and there will be the same number of them. If pikemen have higher value, then there will be less pikemen. Okay? Oceanids, the upgraded. Okay, we can see even how does it work, like what is changed. Speed, cost. Cost should be on red because we have to pay more, so this is a disadvantage. AA value, okay, sure. Teleportation as archdevils, and devils. Immune to ice. Crewmates, mid shield should be there, mid shield. Seaman, this is upgraded mid shield. Pirate, okay. Shooter, 4 shoots. Corsair, all the values we have to compare with other creatures because without this it makes no sense. No enemy rotation with upgraded version. Sea Dogs, we have the accurate shot. So the ability to trigger after a shot. Each creature in attacking stack has a X% chance of killing a creature in the attack squad, but the total number of killed creatures cannot be more than number of creatures in the attacking squad per X divided by 100 rounded up. X is free for shooting without penalty and 2 if with penalty. If behind walls we have no chance to do accurate shot. So basically, if we are shooting with penalty with, let's say, how many we can have, like 30 Sea Dogs shooting with penalty. With penalty we have 2, so 2, number of them 30, per 2 is 60, 60, 0.6, in that case rounded up, so 1. So we can kill 1 unit with the accurate shot, and chance is kinda hard because it's not like 30 per 2%, it's not 60 chance, because every unit has 3%, 2% in that case, 2% chance to do the accurate shot. So maybe even 10 Sea Dogs will have the lucky strike, but only 1 unit will die just because there is a limit. So it's harder. This I can even do the calculations. It's not hard for me as I'm good at math, I can say, but it will be too late. I'm too lazy. Maybe it's the good topic for like compare this to the Gorgon's ability in the one of those shorter episodes. I don't think that anyone will survive that long, but anyway, let's finish this. So, if we are shooting without penalty, it's free, so 30 of them, it will be 90, so still only 1, and how many do we have to have? 34. 34 sea dogs without penalty can kill two units with accurate shot, and without with penalty, so with bet arrow, there we have to have 51. So it's only scary when we are fighting them, I would say, because it's really hard to have them in our army and to make use of this accurate shot. And that means that every time they shoot, they have a little chance to do the accurate shot. So if we are fighting 7 stacks, we can even lose 7 units, like 7 angels. Oh, interesting. Stormbeard, acids. They have ferocity. This is nice because if at least one creature was killed by the attack, a second blow is inflicted. So like double damage only if the first attack kills something. And probably the first attack kills something, so we have like double damage all the time. Sea Witch. Abilities is... This is very important. I mean, not important, but very interesting unit. Same the upgraded version. So they cast a weakness, and if weakness was cast, they are casting Disrupting Ray. And that's interesting because we can remove the, decrease the defense of the enemies. Decrease defense of enemies. Basic effect. So I think 3 attack skill less and 2 defense per shoot. Upgraded version, advanced level. So 6 attack skill removed, and then I think 3 defense. And this can stack, and they will not get the defense back. Nice. Nexus is also interesting unit. I mean, Cove have a lot of interesting units. Nexus, the normal version ignores 30% of attack skill of enemies, and this 60%. Okay. That means they are a lot more tanky, and this works a lot better when a unit with a lot of attack is attacking you. Aspid. I mean, the Sea Serpent have the poison, same as the Monarch. This is just the same. And Haspids have the poison and also revenge. And Haspids can do significantly more damage when they lost some units, or even, I think, health. So if there was 10 Haspids in the battlefield, and it's only 1 remaining, this 1 remaining will do double amount of damage. Not like double, I think triple or even more. Just so much. So let's do one example, how strong this is. Okay, let's say we have final fight. How many Haspids could we have? Let's say, and let's the calculations be easy. Total health now. Well, let's say we have 9 Haspids, and we are fighting, and only 4 of them survived, and now these 4 of them will attack something. Let's see. So number of Haspids at the beginning of the battlefield, 9. And plus 1, 10. And 1 Haspid health is 300. So it's 3k here, 3k. Total health now plus 1 Haspid health. We have now 4 of them. And 1 more. So it's 5 of them. So like 10 of them per his health, and there is 5 of them per his health. So we can, how this is called, just remove this part, and this is 10 and 5, so this is 2 minus 1. It's 1. How this is called, I don't remember. S squared is the shortcut in the Excel, I think. Never mind. So this is 2 so it's 100%. We are doing double damage. So if we had 9 Haspids and 5 of them died and we have 4, the 4 is doing double damage. Of course, ignoring the attack defense difference, our offense on top of that will do double damage. So we'll attack with 4 Haspids as there are 8 of them. But don't know exactly what does it mean once we'll have. I mean, all that depends if our enemy has lower defense and if we have offense. That means it is doing more or less. Depends, and of course, depends also how this works if we are fighting against them. But probably once we are fighting against them, they split, so they shouldn't use this revenge that effectively. If there are 2 of them and 1 is dead, 2 of them, 3 of them, and there is 1 and 2, 3, 2, 0.5, and yes, it's like 30 maybe %. Okay. We have satyrs, so what's that? They are units, added units, I think. So also satyrs, but this is not available in the core city, of course, just in the game. And just cast mirror, okay. No creature, month, pixie, crewmates, stormbird. Okay, but this is removed from random maps. Changes graphic for pikeman, halberdier, monk, and also monk has increased value because you know why. Zealot, other image, better image, gamma lightened for griffin. Okay, what does it? Whatever that means. Dendroid Sorter, graphic changed. Magog can do the fireball attack, can damage immune to fire units only with a central hex of a... What? Can damage immune to fire units only with a central hex of a shoot. Okay, so if we are shooting at Ifrit and we want to deal damage to him, we have to choose just the Ifrit, exactly, not the area close to him. Okay, this makes sense. Ifriti, better image and better image, sure. Same. Archdevil, better, I mean, stronger minus luck for enemies. If there are devils and archdevils, only the archdevil's ability counts. Okay. Skeleton warrior, okay, like black, doesn't matter really. Lich can do that, and immune to death cloud units with central hex, same as the immune to fire. Power Reach the same, troglodyte, orc. Okay, this graphic of orc and of chieftain is noticeable. Gnoll, water elemental. So this is just about images, and sometimes it's about cost or something else. Yes, this cost was with Conflux. Firebird. No fire immunity, fire percent resist 50%. AA value is reduced, but not that much, like 200 from 4.5. Yes, this is not a big change, but a small. Fight value, cost increased, and other shadow. Phoenix, the same, but the values are, I think, not touched. Gold Golem, Diamond, Fairy Dragon. AI increased or quite significantly, like 1.5 as they said. Nice. Portrait for Troll. Conflicts and Conflict creatures are held to have the same alignment in the presence of Angel Alliance. Okay, interesting. Okay. Many creatures portrait fixes. Arrow Towers ignores the target defense completely. Okay, heroes, will not be talking about all of them. The chances, I think we didn't have that on our tutorial about primary and secondary skills. And let's just quickly see. Captains, so the might heroes, aggression 1.1, what does it mean? I don't know. Starting 3-0 to 1, it's nice. Attack, defense, spell power, knowledge. This is very good. This is okay. 70% for might things. Later on, 30, okay, this is nice. Chance of rolling secondary skill. Oh, I think up to 10, yes? So pathfinding, archery, logistic, nice. 6 of logistics, it's okay. Scouting is okay. Not so much. Depends later. Leadership is fine. Wisdom, I think we'll get anyway on level 6, 12, 18, so. Luck. Oh, very big chance for luck. Who needs luck? Ballistics. Who needs ballistics? Who needs legal eye? Who needs estates? Okay, and now this is important. Earth 4, but all the rest can go. So 2, 4, 8, 11. 4 of 11, so like 30 something. 35% for Earth. 1/3 chance for Earth magic. It's not good. What about Earth or Air? This is then 7 out of 11. 60 something. Let's say 60%. 65 maybe. So 30%, 35% for Earth magic, 30% for air, and 35 for stupid. So in 3 games, one will have Earth magic, one will have air, one will have something stupid. Not so good. Tactics 6, that's nice. Artillery, not really. I mean, cannon is present, but anyway. Offense 9, this is good. Armor only 2. Oh. Intelligence, sorcery resistance, first aid. So, I mean, with that, they are very medium. They can learn every magic, which is not so good because they can get so water and fire on level 4, no earth, no necromancy, and navigators. 2012, not bad for magic class. 15, 10, 40, okay, just magic class, yes, what do I want to attack 30% and knowledge, oh, knowledge. Willpower is more important than knowledge, but sure. And they can get, what's important, logistics only 3, fire, air, water. Water 9, yes, sure. So don't want to have navigators. Tactics 4, not bad as magic hero. Offense 4, that's not bad. Armor 1. Resistance first, 8, intelligence, okay. Summon rule of the ability of heroes in... Okay. Wait a second. I think I were reading this already. So we have offense specialty, yes, all the heroes. Elor, Derek, Elmore, what again? Where is Elor? How many Stormbeards you are starting with? Oh, you have Pirates and Stormbeards. That's not good. Not bad combination because you don't have this Niggas and you have Stormbeards, speed 9. You can give this to Scouts. And you start also with Armor, which is a few chance for Captains to get. And later on the offense and leaderships and something will come. Armor is hard to get, but once again you want to more have the aggressive secondary skills such as offense, not armor anyway in the early game. So don't know about him as starting hero. Probably Elor better. I mean not Elor, Jeremy better. Or even this clone guy. Derek? I mean, clone guy, and we have 9 for water magic, yes. So we can clone. This is a good combination for him. Annabelle, how many pirates? 4 to 7. That's not bad. Pirates are kinda weaker than wood elves. Wood elves, it was how many of wood elves we could get from in the Shadow of Ditch. I mean 4 to 6, I think. So it's almost the same. Don't know if this is not too many of them, but once again, it's not that easy. We have to do blacksmith, we have to do, and the upgrade doesn't increase the damage like that much, so it's fine. Cassiopeia is nice because offense tactics, and these nymphs also we don't have shooters, but we don't have these crewmates, which we don't need. And not many nymphs, but once we have upgraded version, they are quick and they can do some damage, so sure. This is okay. Oh, Vacuous, this hero is just... If you didn't play with him, you should try, because this clone specialties is just a joke. So basically at the first cast of clones summons 2 clones, not 1. Yes, and this makes a big difference. Intelligence. Very high chance of water, so a lot of mana. We can clone the 6-7 units early on because water probably will be there. So come on. We don't need a lot of spell power, we need more like knowledge probably, because spell power determinates how long the clone will be with us. And probably once we have the 3-4 spell power, it's enough, because 3-4 runs is enough. So spell power, less important than wisdom, and wisdom with an intelligence and with good chance to get more wisdom with level ups, making this hero super OP. Okay, Spind, Andal, Manfred, Zilar, Astra, Zilar. Okay, your specialty with Forgetfulness makes this with double duration, which makes no difference. Astra, Cure, Dark Gem, Air Shield. Bidley can upgrade like to the courses and sea dogs without structures, same as Gelu, and the guy to upgrade mages, but it's only in campaign. Tark also for Nyx. Beatrice, Kincaria, Ranlu, and Planeswalker, Planes Element that's shown in as males in combat then. Okay. Gem has, we know that. Rampart heroes, we know. Tower, yes, yes, yes. Tirmurish, no more Gunfran. Hero portraits fixed. Okay, there looks better, sure. Towns, so we know about the towns. Artifacts, we know about artifacts. Yes, fixed images of numerous new artifacts. Okay. New battle machine, cannon. Okay, this is OP. I mean, about cannon, I think I will do probably a short episode comparing cannon to the ballista, and that will let you see why this cannon with Jerem is super OP. For now, we can see what? I don't know. Just cannon. Additional upgrade of pirates and cursed creature into sea dogs. Both in Cove, it has a broken ground to Tenet, upgrade the courses in Cove, its content can power of all. Hillfort, as well upgrade to Pierce. Okay, and will be delays. Okay. On ground, neither basics and more creatures. At all times, they come when the upgrade is to have significant process will be upgraded in the sea dogs. Specialty affecting the periods and curves affect the same sea dogs as well. Okay, so for the naval boats, super. Creature dwellings. Okay, of course we have to have these dwellings for all the army. New banks. We know about everything. Everything about banks and fixed animated lakes. Okay. Naga bank gives sulfur, so it was there. Put in water appear on game on boat and corresponding city class, and the number of boats on the map has not yet reached 64. So some bugs and some repairs. Some monolith image of swamp mountains and just looking better. What's that? New object does have the same properties as the old ones. Okay, this is definitely not for me. New decorated objects, sure. More decorating things. New path terrain, frozen way vastes. Reduce our creature's defense by 5. We can see this only on. I don't know. I saw this only on the map creator. I didn't saw this anywhere else, but sure. Dunes. This is interesting. 15 to 20 invisible quicksand spots are present on the battlefield. After entering a sex with a quicksand spot, unit stops and the spot becomes visible for both players. Quicksand cannot appear on a equipped hex as well as on first or second column of hexes near each edge of the battlefield. Dune's quicksand cannot be removed with mass dispel, and their visibility does not depend on native terrain or fighting creatures. During tactical phase, quicksands will not work, but if some quicksand spot will be occupied by not flying, not teleporting creature after start the battle is present, then it will become visible. Okay, this is very interesting. Path terrain. Just interesting. I played some kind of good map on that, and it was like, what the fuck? Quicksand? And it's like, wow. And Fields of Glory reducing lag by 10. By 10, yes, by 10. It's 10. Hillfort, okay, Shrine level 4, Cannons, Temple of Reality, Skeletons Transformer. Cities looks okay, we know all of that. Innovations to the interface. Yes, I think we know all of that also. Hero Flux has random speed times units between frames. Yes, this is very important for me. Fixed animation appearance of the experience of shifting sands, mines, and firewalls. So just looks better, I would say. They could do one. Yeah. Fixed animation. So it doesn't change the game, I would say. Increase the smoothness of appearance and disappearance by objects instead of former 8 frames. Okay, sure. Just looks better. New rumors in Tavern. The scripts on abilities are written with teeny TN font. Added numeric distribution of armies approximate size. We know that. HotA maps are different from sort of each in AD format. Okay. Original maps format swamp. New battlefields, because as you know, on every terrain we can have limited amount of like terrain obstacles, and they like fixed something on holy ground. I know which one. I know which one, because it was on the Wayfire, where we could fight many dwarves with one troll, just because there was like one place to hide and then only one dwarf were fighting with us at the same time. Only one dwarf. It was like the edge. Yes, that was interesting. I think this one is fixed. New battlefield for lava, but in the underground. Swamp. A new battlefield for the stars surrounded by hills and but the vegetation. Okay. Added some options. Okay, we know that. We know the size. Creature road arrow. Okay, we know this also. Changes the main menu selections. Map and campaigns. Okay, we have campaigns there. Sure. Some maps. I mean, there's many maps. Where is this one we were playing? The challenge? No, this was challenging, but the name of map was Trail of Flame. I think I played. Beware of Demons. Interesting game. Interesting. Correctness of game text. Map editor. Okay. Random map generator. A set of copy objects is generated. Crystal Cavern, Gold Mine. So just more of them. Doesn't change the game really. Creature banks, their value, and frequently. Churchyard, sure, warehouses, and this is Hillford. Is there anything else what this was here? Okay. How it was, how it's now, yes, sure. Original object changes. The spell scrolls and the TP and DD. What? Changes to the treasures of the water zone. Could we had the water zone, lul. If a creature has multiple external dwellings, each of the succeeding one will be granted less frequently. Yes, we know that. General luck. We know that Shackles of War will not work against monsters, and there are all the bugs repaired. This is something new. From where the new things started. Okay, this was about Elementalist, Angelic Alliance, fixed the Angelic Alliance AA value and the according crash what was related to that. Wow. Not by price, yes, not me bugs. But the AA bugs, I think this is something new. Fixed passing of artifact after AA battle to the wrong hero. Okay. Restored missing on damage of the shooters. Restored the selection of action for the defender. Ignoring the wounds is now considered not only for the Archmagi but also for the enchanters, sharpshooters and mages, as well as for the hero who owns the golden bow or bow of the sharpshooter. Maybe you didn't know, but Archmagi can shoot through the castle walls when siege, and no penalty for them. And the Berserker was here. AI tactic bug. What's that? Fix some incorrect default creature amount of the map. So how many serpent flies can be on map? I didn't know that it can even be somehow like determined how many on map, but sure. And no necromancy university. Yeah, this is the end. This is the end. Wow. I don't know how I survived all this reading. Somehow I did. And we know what happened in the Horn of the Abyss expansion. I don't know. I will probably publish this as a one episode because I don't know. How can I split this into 2 or 3? I can, but not with the YouTube tools, so don't want to waste my time. I mean, this is not waste because I'm reading in English, so I'm learning. Yeah. And also, I didn't know all of that about like spell scrolls and the town portal dimension and fly being a lot more value. So now when we can see the spell scroll, we have to think if it's not one of those and it's not. And once the spell scroll is protected super hard, we know it must be one of the control spells. Control spells are TP, DD, fly. Or water work, but because it's not water in our maps. Sure. So let me know what do you think about this. It will take me ages to just publish this, like to upload this. And sure. So goodbye, I would say. So around 3 hours, and I never felt I never felt that exhausted. But it's about reading all the time without break, and at the same time understanding what does it mean, because it's not my native language, of course, English. So hard work for brain. Now I need some I wanted to say some sweeties, but I think I'm addicted to that a little. Not I'm like fat, but of course I'm skinny. Skinny? Never mind. Who needs to know that? That means I'm going to just chill and see ya. So have a nice day.